I'm going to call a roll and establish who is here for the record. Commissioner Fathman, are you here?
Here.
Commissioner Killeen, are you here?
Here.
Commissioner Richardson, are you here?
Here.
Commissioner Vines, are you here?
Yeah.
Alderman Coder, are you here?
Here.
Okay. If any commissioners join us, we'll note it for the record. Commissioners, have you reviewed, looked at today's agenda? Anybody have any reason to recuse themselves from consideration of any item? Okay, then I am also informed that there is no director's report. And looking at the little thumbnails, there also is no director. So that's sort of perfect. Has any commissioner read the minutes of October 2nd, 2020?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Richardson. It looked like there was some issues with them. The lead-in paragraph says that board member Fathom made a motion to approve the minutes from July 27th, 2020, but then it doesn't, I don't know why it's saying July, and it doesn't show Commissioner Fathom as being present at this meeting.
That is a problem. Janine, what do you say? Okay, in her absence, Barb Burkett, what do you say?
Have that corrected prior to the next meeting.
Okay, did anybody figure out what that mouse said? Because I just heard squeak, clatter, clatter, squeak, squeak. Barb, your audio is not doing very well. Anybody? Okay, there seems to be no way to reconcile this. We will not approve the minutes today.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
may I make a suggestion that maybe we move on to other items and the staff can figure out the proper amendment to who made the motion and all that, and then bring that back after the agenda items are heard?
Oddly, that was just what I was trying to do when you interrupted me.
I thought, okay, never mind.
Okay, let us proceed with the meeting. Agenda item A, 3001 McNair. This is a appeal of a director's denial. I will ask those who testify to affirm that they're telling the truth, and I would like them to enter into the record everything they would like to be considered as part of the appeal. Let us proceed.
I am Andrea Gagan with the Cultural Resources Office, and I swear to tell the truth. I need to enter into the record the enabling ordinance 64689 as amended by 64925, the Benton Park Historic District Ordinance 67175, the agenda, and the PowerPoint.
Thank you. Will your testimony be the truth?
Yes.
Okay.
The owners initially applied for a rear porch with a metal porch roof, metal handrails, and tile on the deck and stairs. In the interest of trying to move things along, let them get started, they revised their plans to submit a porch that would comply with historic district standards. Then they applied for an addendum, which is what we're doing now. And the addendum is for installing metal handrails and a stone type tile on the porch deck and steps. An appropriate model example cannot be identified for proposed changes as required by the Benton Park Historic District standards, and the application was denied. The applicants have appealed the director's denial of the application. This is the building at 3001 McNair. On the corner of Benton and McNair. And you may remember this location from a few months ago when they applied for a fence permit. So this is the change of course. This is the site that where the construction's already started on the base of the porch, and the fence will run along here, run alongside the edge of the building back. The proposed changes do not comply as the previous. Proposed changes in the porch, as previously approved, do not follow model example. Metal handrails and bow stone tiles historically were not on rear porches. At the same time, I mean, if there was a concrete porch, a metal handrail would be appropriate, which is what was there previously. Just plan showing they did change the metal roof to an asphalt shingle roof, but they're still wanting the metal handrails and the bow stone tile. And I have two letters to read into the record. One is from the Benton Park Neighborhood Association from President Donald Morgan. In reviewing the appeal heard for 3001 McNair by the Preservation Board at the October 2020 hearing, Benton Park Neighborhood Association appreciates our upholding the Benton Park Historic District Building Code. In reviewing construction documents prepared by the architect, Hendrick Design, the architect has modified the drawings at the owner's request to utilize a compliant roof shingle. Roof material will be a very visible feature of this addition. Regarding the two other attributes of the structure, the railing system and the tile finish for the deck, Benton Park Neighborhood Association's observation is the feature will not be visible. In a previous Preservation Board hearing, the board gave consent to the property owners to construct a 6-foot-high non-compliant fence utilizing horizontal fence boards. And in parentheses, Benton Park Historic District Code specifically states the fencing materials to be oriented vertical. Thus, the railing system and tile decking surface will not be visible from the public right-of-way. As such, Benton Park Neighborhood Association requests that the Preservation Board permit the owners to construct the deck addition with a shingle roof, metal rail system, and tile decking system. Thank you for the good work you do and your attention to this request. Should you have any questions regarding this matter, you contact myself, Tim Mulligan, Building Review Chair. And the second is from Dane Gunzer, Alderman of the Ninth Ward. I approve the railing system and tile finish for the deck located at the above referenced address. My support is based on review and support provided by the Benton Park Neighborhood Association Building Review Committee. It is my understanding that these alterations do not meet the historic district standards, but these changes will not be made to enhance the appearance of the property. Thank you for your time and consideration. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. As I said, located in Benton Park Historic District, the rear porch is located on a semi-public facade as a highly visible corner elevation. Proposed metal handrails and both stone tile were not historically used on wood porches. The deviation from the standards in the addendum is not based on any appropriate model example. Therefore, the Cultural Resources Office recommends the Preservation Board uphold the Director's memo. The addendum project does not comply with Benton Park local historic district standards. Questions?
Commissioners, are there questions for Ms. Gagan?
There's a picture of the tile. So.
Go ahead. No? Yes. Okay, then let's hear from the appellant. Mr. Steele, Ms. Steele.
We are here. Thank you again for inviting us back. We didn't expect to be back here so shortly, for sure. I think we were just a bit surprised that what we had proposed was not meeting standards. But we have put together this presentation. It's actually very similar to the last presentation that we went through. We went on about a 15-minute golf cart ride creeping up and down alleyways, getting some pictures of some existing porches and decks that have both metal railing and on wood surfaces as well. So we can just kind of go through here, and we'll just quickly run through some pictures. Andrew, if you wouldn't mind going through that was what was here before we started ripping this off. It's concrete and steel. And what we're trying to do is replicate not only the concrete and steel look that was existing, but also kind of match what we have on the front of the house as well. So you go to the next. This Andrea already showed this right here. So we've changed the steel roofing to be shingle. Actually, the only reason we had steel roofing in the first place was because of the slope of the roof was such that water flow coming off of that roof on a steel roof was going to be much easier, much better than on a shingle. But we can make some other alterations to make that work. So we're fine with going with the shingle. Go on to the next slide if you don't mind. I think we can scoot right through here. It's just another elevation of what it looks like. Andrea already went through the objections, so we can go on to the next. This is just a screenshot of a video of the Umbrico tile system. The fascia board comes up to level with the tile, so even without a fence, you would really not really even see the tile system. Really, you just see that wooden fascia board. That's just to give a representation of how the installation would go. We can go on to the next one. This is from the Umbrico site. Just shows what some of their tile decking system looks like. You can go on to the next. There's another one. This is actually from an install in Webster, from the contractor that we would probably use to install it. But even so, this is an Umbrico tile system used locally, not in the neighborhood, but and it's a different color, but just an example of what is currently out there. Next slide. This small square in this picture is laid up against the concrete that we have in the front of our house. Concrete in the front of our house is dirty, so if it were clean, it would be much better match. But that stone that we have on the front that we're trying to put in the back, we're trying to match with the front concrete that we have as well. Next slide is that same tile against the front limestone steps that we have in the front as well. Again, not perfect match, but similar texture and similar overall look that we're really trying to replicate. This is, and we'll just go through a bunch of examples. This is actually our house back from before we did the gut rehab from several years ago. You can barely see it there, but that deck system that's there right now is wood with metal spindles, metal railing. Just to use as one example of wood and metal being used on a historic structure. And stone. Next, we'll just go through these quickly. This is 2612 and 2614 McNair. This is visible from McNair with all metal railing, similar to what we want to do. Ours won't be as ornate, but metal railing on wood deck. We can go next. We see some of the same stuff. This is metal spindles, wood railing, metal spindles on a wooden deck, exposed, viewable from McNair. Next. This is a back deck along the alleyway in McNair. Again, metal spindles or balusters on a wood structure. We'll keep on going here. Same thing here. Probably not a wood structure. This would be wood decking, probably a tar roofing material, but again, all metal railing on a historic structure. This is 2865 McNair, the church there right there in the corner. This is all metal railing. This is actually on this deck system is a wood structure, but it's also clad with the what's it called? The composite decking, which was approved. I don't know if by CRO, but what was approved, permitted, and approved the Benton Park neighborhood standards don't call specifically okay or not okay composite decking. I think our point is that if something like composite can be allowed, then a stone structure seems reasonable as well. We'll just go on to the next. You can barely see this. Sorry, the lighting wasn't very good, but there's two deck systems. One you can just see in the middle of the picture, and one at the top of the system. Again, metal railing, metal balusters. I think it's in that picture that is a wooden railing, but metal balusters on a wood structure. And again, all these are just within a quarter-mile max of our house, really up and down 2 or 3 streets and alleys within our neighborhood. But this is a 2837 McNair wood structure. Again, most of this is composite with, in this case, all metal railing. I'd say our metal railing would be somewhat similar to this, fairly simple aluminum. But this is right there in our neighborhood as well. We could go on to the next. This is a back deck, again, wood structure, metal balusters on Missouri, visible from the alley. Next. Same thing here, and the house right next to it, or 2 doors down, I think. Same type deal. Lots of metal railing that we could find in the neighborhood. We'll just keep burning through it here. Another one along the same alley. Similar construction, wood construction and metal balusters. This one isn't all metal. Some of these aren't all metal, but definitely metal within the railing. This is viewable from Missouri. So this is the front balcony with an all metal railing on a historic structure. Keep going. This is newish construction, 2926 Missouri. Again, so this is viewable, very, very visible from public view, or with public view, with a metal railing both on the bottom and on the balcony up top. Again, here is another example of 2027 Congress with wood decking, wood structure, and metal supports and railing visible from the alleyway. This is 2921 Salina, a new deck that was put on with composite wood structure, all composite decking and fascia boards, as well as black aluminum railing. And I'd say actually this is probably very close to what our railing would look like. All aluminum structure, just like this. We can move on. I don't know how many more we have, but this is 3001 Indiana, just 2 blocks from ours. Same type structure as some of the others we've seen with the metal balusters. And we left these in here. You can barely see this. You can, if you really zoom in, you can see that that's a corrugated roof. There's 3 examples of corrugated roofs that we found in the neighborhood. This is the back of the same house. And then if you go down to the next one, this is, oh, I'm sorry, this is the front. The previous picture was the back of this same house at the 2812 McNair. But really the main model example here is 2900 Missouri, Yamanja, Brazil, with the corrugated metal that we were using as a model example. Again, we've already changed the plans on that. We're okay with, we like the look of the corrugated, but we're okay with switching that to regular old shingles, if that's really what we need to do. I think that's the last slide. So what we tried to do is just show a bunch of examples of where we have certainly metal railing in the neighborhood. And then what we're trying to do with the stone is really just tie in what was existing in our house with the front of our house as well. And the Benton Park neighborhood standards do mention that stone is used, maybe not as much in conjunction with the wood framing, but brick, wood, stone, metal were all fairly common building materials used at the time our neighborhood was being developed. So, and we're a fan of that, and we want to keep that look. And we thought that tile deck would add not only to the aesthetic value and the longevity of our deck, but also tie in some historic elements as well. And I think that's all we have.
Okay, was the testimony you gave us the truth?
It was.
Okay, Ms. Steele, do you have anything to add?
Oh, no, I think Joel covered it all. We've been talking about it for a while and are excited.
Okay, commissioners, have you got questions for the Steeles? CRO staff, have you got something to say?
Who?
Yes, I just wanted to point out that I don't believe that we approved any of those that were shown, except for I know the Selena one we did, but it was not actually supposed to have a metal handrail on that rear deck. That is what they put in. That is not what we approved. And the ones on the brick porches that's typical when you have a brick structure to have a metal handrail on it. It's just not typical to have a wood porch with a metal handrail and a decking.
So, but with the visibility concern, something that is completely visible from the front can have a wood structure with a metal railing, but something that's less visible in the back isn't allowed that same privilege?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And now,
okay.
Sometimes a brick porch will have it's basically the roof, and the roof will have a metal handrail, and that is typical. But to have a fully wood porch with a metal handrail is not typical.
There were a couple examples in there, though, of metal or of wood balconies with all metal railing, and those were historic. I mean, those were not new.
It's typical of a balcony, but it's not typical of a porch.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anybody else here to testify?
Not from our side.
Okay, hearing none. Commissioner Killeen, have you got a motion?
Yes, sir. I move that the Preservation Board vote to override the director's denial of this project and let it be constructed as designed.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
So if I may, I guess I'm just thinking that we've got the approval from the neighborhood and from the alderman. I agree with Ms. Gagin that it's unclear if many of those examples provided actually were done before or after the standards were in place. Perhaps some were rogue. I know that the church on McNair, though, one of the examples they showed did come before our board. I remember voting on that one. But I think it's a non-visible change to their situation there, and I think it would not detract from the historic district.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Commissioners, there's a motion on the floor that has been made and seconded. It is to overrule the director's denial and to uphold the appeal. I'm going to call a roll. Commissioner Fathman, do you vote yes or no on the motion?
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen, do you vote yes or no on the motion?
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson, do you vote yes or no on the motion?
Yes.
Commissioner Vines, do you vote yes or no on the motion?
Yes.
Alderman Coder, do you vote yes or no on the motion?
Yes.
The chair abstains. And the motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for having us. Thank you very much.
There are two agenda items, B and C. Commissioner Richardson, have you got a motion for those two items?
Yes, I move that the Preservation Board should direct the staff to prepare a report for, to the State Historic Preservation Office that both, each property meets National Register Criteria A with respect to 1131 North Euclid Avenue, A for education and ethnic heritage, and with respect to the Goodwill building, A with for social history.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Commissioners, have you had a chance yet to see the revised minutes for September? Anybody?
Were they emailed? Where are they?
I do not know. How do we get them? Actually, Barb Burkett, tell us what you did. Well, that's not working because we cannot hear you. Director Krasnoff, can you tell us what has happened?
All right. Well, good afternoon, board members. So I went back and took a look at the minutes. The board took no action on the August minutes. So there was a cut and paste problem with minutes, which I apologize for. You know, folks can look at the other items on the agenda, but if the only holdup to approving those minutes is the part at the top about the previous month's minutes, those could be stricken by motion, and we could do revised minutes and sent out, and they could be approved based on just striking those, or we could do a paper revision and have it for you at the next meeting if you prefer.
Commissioner Richardson, what say you?
I move that we approve the minutes as amended as striking the paragraph related to approving July minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll
Okay.
Second.
I see several seconds. Let the minutes actually show that Alderman Coder seconded it. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, then the minutes are approved. Commissioners, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
For any objection, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much.